up, Net? It's Kirk, and welcome to my top 5 for Comic Impact, where I give you the best reviews this week of July 1st. We have number 5 this week on the list, the best series from DC Comics that you're not reading right now. Please get on board. Bizarro number 2. The art is fantastic. The writing is whimsical and funny. I don't even want to call it an all-ages comic anymore. It's just a fun comic. Why is it the issue that you're not reading? I don't think a lot of people take a road trip story with Jimmy Olsen and Bizarro seriously. And believe it or not, the writers and creators on the series have made it so much fun. It's fun, it's lighthearted. Also, there's been some really great creative use of art in the series, especially in number 2 that it's highlighted, to emphasize more comedy in certain points in the series. Also, Colin the Chupacabra, I need him to get his own series, and I definitely see me getting a tattoo of that little bastard sometime in the future. It's really freaking cute. Yes, cute is cool. Do it. Bizarro number 2, that's number 5 on the list this week. It's also a mini-series. I want the sales of this up so that other people will start, finding the series, and then maybe they'll actually extend it and give it a chance. That would be so cool. Number 4 this week, let's see. We're going to go with Grant Morrison. His new series, 18 Days, not superhero, not thinking outside the box, also not a meta story. What it is a story that's based on a hyper reality, a hyper future that's all taking place in our current timeline, and it really focuses on Eastern religion, and especially like the Krishna and India. And I like the fact that it asks very existential questions without insulting the reader. Also, it reads like poetry. It's something that is really interesting as far as Grant Morrison's writing style and his voice. I definitely highly recommend it. Art by Kang. And number 3 on the list this week is Secret Wars number 4. I'm really enjoying this series. I think it's a great idea, and a lot of people are doing the eye roll because, of course, everyone's not necessarily happy with like the new continuity and what the Marvel Universe is probably going to look like after this is all done. It's one of those mega events that everyone goes, okay, so when are they going to redo it all over? I don't think so. I also like the fact that there is probably a deeper story that's really ingrained in this. Basically, we still got Doctor Doom. He is a god. He has created Battle World. He has done what he can to save what parts of the old world so that they can continue. And throughout all his omnipotence and his, huge giant ego because he's fucking Doctor Doom, it teaches the lesson that even a man who becomes a god is not above jealousy. What else? Light looks good. The dog's not doing anything too crazy. I got a mecha Spawn. It's actually the only version of Spawn I ever liked. I don't know why. Spawn was really good for like the first 12 issues, and that was pretty much it. And let's just keep that Secret Wars train rolling with my number 2 pick of the week, A-Force number 2 by Bennett and Wilson. Where the fuck was this issue? This thing was amazing and solid and strong. I actually didn't really like the first issue. I thought it was kind of weak and a little lackluster and didn't have enough, purpose or like a mission statement for me to stick with the series, especially after it's going to continue after Secret Wars. It's still going to be like one of the main ongoing series. First issue just was kind of lackluster and, it felt a little weak. But number 2, this is how they should have started it. I almost kind of wish that they could rewrite the story a little bit so that this was the introductory issue. Instead of talking about the entire team, this issue definitely focuses on each character that makes up A-Force, and what makes that character special and strong, and what is their attribute that adds to A-Force. So when you focus on the characters individually, I think that creates for a stronger, special superhero complete team thing package. They fucking knocked it out of the park with this. Now I'm excited to see what A-Force is going to turn into after Secret Wars. They fucking nailed it. Great job, Wilson and Bennett. Again, Miss Marvel, she did an X-Men run. Loving Wilson. Can't wait to see what else that they're going to roll out with her after Secret Wars. But Kirk, I just keep hearing Secret Wars from you, and I go, I know. But believe it or not, not everything that comes out of the Secret Wars is a good thing. It is with heavy heart that I bring you the disappointment of the week, also Secret Wars, Ultimate End number 3 by Bendis and Bagley, and this bums me out. That is one of my most favorite creative teams, especially in anything they've done in the Ultimate Universe. I grew up with their Spider-Man. The team works so good together. Why is Ultimate End a disappointment? I've actually waited to talk about the series until the third issue, and it finally has come to the point where you have to realize that it almost doesn't make any sense outside of the craziness that is Secret Wars and Battle World. For one, you can't tell the difference between the characters. This is a series that's got the 616 versions of our superheroes, and also the Ultimate Universe versions of our superheroes, interacting in this story and the end of what they're going to do to survive. Ugh. And Bagley's art actually works against it. He's fantastic. There's also no telling the difference between one set of characters and the other. They actually were doing a little trick where you had one certain type of text for the 616 characters when they spoke, and they also had a different type of text for the Ultimate Universe characters when they spoke, but it's really hard to tell the difference. And other things that are also making the series very confusing, every other spin-off and title that has been Secret Wars has been very specific in explaining the world and what part of the past universe that it belongs and encompasses and where it came from. This series, I have no idea. I don't know which Earth it's happening on, if it's a small part of Battle World. It's not really making any sense. It's not really clear. It's also really frustrating that it's not necessarily following the rules that have been set forth and put down by King Doom and by Marvel. And, it's not working. And I'm sorry. I don't want this creative team and their last story for the Ultimate Universe to be this. Especially on a downer note like this. I'll keep watching the series, but sadly that was the disappointment of the week. And I hear you. You're tired of Secret Wars. Kirk, stop talking about Secret Wars! And I will. Because number one this week is Brian K. Vaughn, We Stand on Guard, and fuck yes, BKV. This series, first issue, it's strong, it's poignant, and it has a lot of Vaughn's trademark storytelling, and it hits you kind of hard. Fucking Brian K. Oh, fuck! Oh! Of course, it's Image Comics, and let me kind of fill you in on the premise on it a little bit. Not too distant future, apparently the United States has decided to declare war on Canada, and it shows some pretty graphic scenes of war. Right away, I need to attribute the artist, the way they placed panels and the way you flip pages to really get an emotional shock from what they're trying to portray in this series is top-notch. And also, you might want to brace yourself. It is graphic. BKV's dialogue is once again very realistic and relatable, especially scenes with the family talking together. I also like the fact that it's very fantastic, and there's giant mecha robots that the war is being waged with. It's got some elements of Red Dawn, where you've got a group of freedom fighters when we flash forward a little further into the story. And one of the best parts about this series is that it does throw in again Brian's really fun mechanic that he uses telling stories, where a character will kind of go off and gives like another character a bunch of useless information or a dumb factoid that you really don't think means a lot, and it's just a really fun way to get some, ancient history or a small history lesson in the title from Brian. And a lot of people find this a kind of writing trope that Brian does. I personally love it, and I think it's a very ingenious way to build character and create character. Especially in this first issue, he does that. And when we get to the end, you see why he did it. And I love Brian K. Vaughn. I kind of hope that we start seeing some more political and sci-fi political from him. Huge fan of Ex Machina. I'd like to see some of that element injected into this series, or I would like to see something completely different. It really doesn't matter. I'm watching the series very closely. Chances are that every time it's going to come out, at some point it might make the top 5 every week. It's good. It's really good. It's paced so well, and I think it really kind of strikes home and kind of makes you really look at some things that you might be a little ignorant about that you've never really thought of, or really were kind of blind or didn't really want to actually consider when it comes to war. Yeah, I kind of like it when I get kind of emotionally hit on these things, and I need to stop saying kinda all the time. But that's why I'm going slow and really trying to articulate how special this issue was. And if you stuck with us this long in the video, thank you so much for hanging out and spending your time and listening to these reviews and, getting excited about comic books like we do here over at Comic Impact. Please like and subscribe. Go check out all the other videos and reviewers and vloggers and different types of things that Comic Impact has to offer. And please find me at Twitter at KirkLikesStuff. I also have an Instagram that I'm sure you don't care about because it's just comic books and pictures of my dog. And hopefully I'll try to get another video out next week because, let's admit it, next week is huge. It's motherfucking San Diego Comic-Con. I'll be down there. I'll take my camera. Hopefully we'll get you a Comic-Con video. I'm going to go hit a bunch of different panels. And, yeah, we'll try to do a review video, or we'll just try to give you something else to kind of make you forget that we didn't give you a review video. Anyways, thank you so much for sticking around. We'll see you next week.